last night before we left, we laid out this beautiful two beautiful sheets of ash veneer. These will be going on the kit once the shells are completed. Really nice stuff. It's got a beautiful wood backer. It's a lot more stable than a paperback veneer, and helps improve the sound too. So that's a little ways down the road, probably next week, but we'll be able to get this ash on and figure out whether we're going to do it natural or maybe add some color to it. Out here, we've got shells in various stages that I pointed out before we left yesterday. We've got 8 and 10 inch toms gluing up. We've got 16-inch floor tom with 3 rings going in, 6-inch tom gluing up. Here's 12-inch concert tom that we wet, and we're just letting it sit. We're going to probably put a re-ring in one side of these. Here we have the snare drum, same thing. Over here we have 18-inch floor tom that's ready for re-rings, and the bass drum over there, the last piece glued in will need to be cleaned up. I'm going to pull the clamps off of that this morning and everything else. Glue in the last pieces of all the drums that need to be glued up, and just keep on moving. Re-rings will be after that, and whatever drums are ready. And when they're not, then we'll move over to that bass drum and clean that up and size it. So got a lot to do yet today and tomorrow. I said it would be this week until we got these shells glued up, and today they'll be glued up. Tomorrow we'll have most of the re-rings done, and Saturday we should be able to finish up the re-rings, maybe Monday the latest, and sand the insides of these shells, work out any irregularities, and get them ready for the veneer by Tuesday, Wednesday. Exciting stuff. Alright, we got all the big shells glued up, minus these 3 little ones. We got this 6-inch, 8-inch, and the 10-inch all clamped up. We have 1 more piece to put in the 10-inch, 1 more piece to put in the 6-inch, and 2 more in the 8-inch. We were out of clamps, but we've got all the big shells done, and Steve is in the process of cleaning them up and getting the glue off the edges. And we've laid one out here for a re-ring, but before we put the re-rings in, we have to cut them to just a hair over the exact size we need. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. And what we do is we have one factory edge, if you remember, that we left clean, and we left ourselves some room. When I say clean, we left a little gap here so that we could clean this up and put this against the fence. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut this off and get this back to a factory edge, flip it around, and cut off the other side. This is the snare drum. We want to finish this at 6.5 inches. But right now what we're gonna do is cut it right. I'm gonna take off a little over 1/8 of an inch. So now you got a shell that's square, flat, parallel, and when we put these re-rings in, it's going to fix all the other little idiosyncrasies that we get. And we're going to come out here, and we'll pick up where we left off on this drum, which is with the re-rings ready to be laid out. This drum, what I've done is I've taken one of the 2 re-rings, clamped it in place, and I'm taking out all the voids, and what I'm doing now is I'm marking it to cut to fit. I'm going to take it in my chop saw in here. And we're going to cut it a little long. Better a little long than a little short. And then we're going to come back in here, we're going to test fit it. I want this to be a nice compression fit. So when I clamp it with the glue or no voids, this is very important step. And this is money. Very happy with this. And now what I'm going to do is flip it over and mark the inside just below it with pencil. Draw a pencil line around, and then I can come over here and pull this out. Next step is to tape it. And the reason I tape it is so that when we glue it, glue does not get all over the inside of the shell all at once. Okay, running out of room here. So the next thing we do is we take this tape here and we tape off the inside. Just put it right along. See how the roll of tape? There it is right there. I don't like this tape. This tape curls up. A lot of steps in these drums. Each step is just as important as the next. All right. Now, spread some glue out. Just like gluing in the shells, we want enough glue to make a great bond. This glue is going to fill in any cracks that are along the edge of the drum right now too. We still need to clean up or sand the inside of these shells. That won't get done until the ring-rings are in and this drum is sized. The reason we do that is if we sand the inside of the shells, especially along the edges, it has a tendency to taper the wood, and that affects the thickness. And when we put the re-rings in, it's thinner along the edges and it makes for a very poor bearing edge. This keeps the bearing edge consistent when it's cut. So there, because our thickness is pretty much the same all the way across. Just go across here, make sure we got it all spread out the way we want it. And then we take the re-ring we just cut, whichever one that was, this one here. And we take the brush and we just put a little dab of glue right on the joint where that's going to meet up. Take this. See why it's important to have that tape in there to minimize what's going to happen next, and that is all this glue is going to run down the inside of the shell because we just stood it up right. And now that we got it in place, we can push that together, and then I'm going to take one of these clamps, a little C clamp that we use to hold these in place, pull that joint tight. Next step is equally important, is to put this clamp on. This clamp helps work out any irregularities with roundness. It's not a lot, but it's enough that I feel it's important to do. And because as we glue these shells up, especially with these exotic woods, a tendency to get a little goofy. So now what we can do is we can go around and put as many clamps as we need to make a good bond. And I'm working kind of fast because I don't want that glue inside to be a major cleanup, because that's the next step. Once we're done clamping this, we go inside there, we wipe all that glue off and pull the tape off. A whole box of these clamps here, probably, I don't know, 100 or so of them. And as you can see, you need them because we're going like every 1.5 to 2 inches here with our clamps. And I feel that's really important. If you don't clamp these, we're taking out little voices as we go. If you don't clamp these, that's going to affect the overall integrity of the drum, and not just so much the sound, but the longevity and lifespan of the instrument. But mostly it just makes a better result. Stronger, it's more true, more consistent. And as you can see, it doesn't take too long before we run out of these. And everything's staying nice and even. I'm really happy about that. Get in our own way really quick in this place. And one more here. And that is already cleaned up. This, took our wet rag here. And we just wipe all the glue off. Yes, we're going to sand all these. It's a lot easier to sand. I'm going to have big thick lines of glue dried in here. Alright, and I'm going to take this, pull the tape out before the glue dries. Otherwise it'll be difficult to get out. Dries in place. And we wipe this out one more time.